Spring is calling in Newport, and there's so much happening in May. There's Bloom Newport, a family-friendly spring festival that brings color and community to town, the Newport Marathon, a crowd favorite known for its vast scenic course, and the always amazing Oregon Coast Aquarium is also expanding and opening its brand new Amazon rainforest exhibit, not to mention all the seafood you could possibly want, but just not at the aquarium. That's separate. Start planning your May getaway to the coast at discovernewport.com/spring. That's discovernewport.com/spring.
The International School of Portland is celebrating its 35th birthday this year. It's one of only 2 schools in the entire United States that has 3 full language immersion programs under one roof, teaching in Chinese, Japanese, and Spanish. It's also the first school in the Pacific Northwest to offer the renowned International Baccalaureate Primary Years program. They're now enrolling students from preschool to 5th grade for fall of 2026. Sign up for a personal tour at intlschool.org.
This is CityCast Portland. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about how surprised a Trump homeless policy advisor was that he and city leaders might be more in agreement than expected, why our water bill might climb even higher, and Damian Lillard's new bar, and other favorite hotel bar picks. Joining me this morning are KBOO News Director Althea Billings and our very own senior producer, Giulia Fiaoni. Hey guys, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Althea, it's been a while.
Yep.
Your hair looks longer.
Every time I step away from CityCast, it grows about 2 inches. And so it's almost taking over the room that I'm in. So you guys got to invite me back or it's gonna get crazy.
That's really scary.
Yeah, isn't it? A little bit of body horror right on the top of the show.
Damn.
All right. Well, anyhow, before we jump into the news, I always ask an opening question so anyone new listening can get to know our guests a little better. And today I'm basing my question on the news that Portland Public Schools is currently deciding which early grade schools they will shut down by next winter. Now, nationwide, there are declining enrollment for K-8 students. And as it stands, we have possibly 10 too many K-8 schools here in Portland. And you couple that with the fact that almost all of our elementary schools need to get expensive seismic retrofits. And now PPS will have to have a very emotionally fraught series of meetings with parents throughout the year. So my question to you two is, what should we do with those empty school buildings? Remember, they may or may not be death traps if the big one ever hits.
Well, in that case, I thought about this for a minute because I really just feel really sad about the idea of so many buildings sitting empty in our city. I just don't think that's good for anyone. One idea I have is a weekly indoor vendor market. So think like a mix between the PSU Farmers Market and the Saturday Market, but indoors. But my other idea was to have like a changing out annually, very niche museum, something like what we already have, like the Puppet Museum, but something else. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it would be, but I would also love to see that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like maybe like local music.
Sure. Or like,
you know what I mean? Like local history.
Really old bikes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know?
I was thinking about maker spaces. I don't know if you guys ever went to the like winter, I forget what the Portland Bazaar, I think it's called. Or
oh, yeah.
I love that space. It was during Christmas and you go in and there's all these makers and I bought all my Christmas gifts there and it was freaking awesome. So I'm 100% on board with that. What about you, Althea?
Okay, I was thinking something kind of in the same vein as you guys, although, of course, we need to acknowledge, like you said, Claudia, the seismic possible trap. Also, that if it's an elementary school, all the toilets are tiny. So that, you know,
that's so
layer
true.
That into your sort of calculation. They're like so low to the ground for little babies.
Oh my God, you're right.
But I was thinking about turning these schools into kind of a cool community art space. Maybe this is a solution for the Lloyd Center businesses that need somewhere new to go. Also, just to give a shout out to Churchill School in Baker City did this. It's really awesome there. They have like a hostel. They have a whole apartment for an artist residency. There's a massage parlor. There's an art gallery. There's a wood shop in the bottom. There's a radio station like underground.
That's so
and
cool.
like an event space.
But did they retrofit it?
I think they did a little bit of retrofitting, but mostly it still looks like a school.
It's like if it's a makerspace, half off if a brick falls on you. You know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Well,
That's great.
It's good if you get the makers in there because then they can use the brick, you know?
Oh, I see.
This is genius.
Yeah. Well, these were great ideas. I'm sure PPS is listening and they're writing things down as we speak. So on to the news of the week. Althea, you're kicking us off. What's this about a Trump policy advisor actually thinking Portland can govern?
That feels like, I mean, stop there.
It was an overstatement.
Well, it's a little bit of an overstatement, and it's like, whoa, did he say that? It's a little bit unclear what he did or didn't say. So this guy, Robert Marbut, who is a senior policy advisor to housing and urban development, came to Portland last week to talk to local leaders, kind of in secret. No press or the public was allowed. PDX Real was there. We don't have to parse that necessarily. He was also, Marbut was the homeless czar for Trump in his first term. Also, none of the county officials were there because they had a budget meeting at the same time. Wilson was there briefly, whatever. They had work to do.
Because they had work to do.
Yeah, but the headline and kind of what he was saying in that meeting was that there was more agreement with local leaders than he had expected. Maybe that says more about what his expectations were than about how much they aligned. But basically, the Trump line right now on homelessness, at least the official line, is that they want to tie services, when we're talking about like shelter, housing, stuff like that, to sobriety and work requirements. That's kind of what they're saying. And is anybody locally saying that we should do that? Not necessarily. But Marbut's also giving kind of his least crazy take, I would say, from what we heard about this meeting. I had a field day on his Wikipedia page, by the way, but he has something called the Velvet Hammer. He thinks that giving people food actually enables them to be homeless. And he admits that it's a convoluted line, but that's what he told NPR in 2014. But he did talk about, he presents these slides, he opens it up to questions. Kind of something that's looming right now is there's this ongoing legal fight over new federal rules about how they're going to hand out housing money. And they want it to be more competitive. They want to make sure that you can't make any gender inclusive references. It's only male and female in whatever your language is for your homeless dollars. And they don't want to spend any of it on permanent housing. That's tied up in court right now. So they didn't even really get to address that in the meeting. But the big takeaway from Marbut, like according to like the local officials that Oregon Live talked to, was that federal homeless funding that counties and localities have long relied on is not guaranteed. It's competitive. But if you have services that have metrics that show that it's going towards a good purpose, it could be okay. And we do have programs that have good metrics. So maybe they can get money. So it's not totally disastrous. But maybe like the expectations on both sides were so low that they had a civil conversation. Everybody's like, that's crazy. They talk to us like people.
I feel like the whole vibe of this meeting felt really strange to me from how it was written, at least, because they talked about how Trump's supporters went in and gave like a 20-minute presentation with numbers that weren't attributed to anything. And then it was just kind of open floor discussion. And the baseline was like, he was just impressed with the fact that there were 40 people that showed up looking somewhat civilized. And there's a lot of he said, she said, and it's all just so strange. Honestly, props to this reporter for even being able to write anything about it. But I do want to dig in more to a point that you mentioned, Althea, from Metro Councilor Christine Lewis, talking about how that competition amongst homeless services providers may actually be an okay thing for our city and county. And I find that really interesting in the context of what's been happening with Home Forward, one of our main affordable housing providers, and how they haven't been doing an awesome job, to put it lightly. And I'm not exactly saying that that's coming from the same money pool, but I do feel like some level of accountability proactively and competition within that world would be really useful for us and actually might move us forward in some of the things that we're trying to accomplish with homelessness.
I do want to underline that Home Forward is basically the Portland City Housing Authority. What they do is they oversee a ton of contractors.
Yeah.
So they themselves aren't providing much aside from admin work. They're overseeing the people who are providing these services and the housing.
Totally.
So just not to say that you said anything misleading, but just for those who are just like Home Forward,
No, that's a really important detail for sure.
I'll say one thing, which is that 92% of the federal funds that we get right now are used to provide permanent housing, which the Trump administration says they want to move away from. And without federal funding, which right now, the big message was like, hey, don't count on this, fight for it, which aren't we fighting enough? You know what I mean? But without federal money, the county says that 1,000 Multnomah County residents could lose their homes as a result. It also is tough that no county leaders could be there, since they're the ones that administer the majority of the homeless services in Portland.
Yeah. I wonder if that was done by design or, again, because they were like, we really have this meeting and we got to do it,
Or they don't care about, I think they don't care about Portland. But they were like, the people here aren't uncivilized. Like Giulia said, they care about doing a good job and putting money in the right place. So that was surprising to them. And then they weren't total jerks who said, fuck your liberal hellhole. You're getting paid dirt even if the work you're doing matters. So everybody walked away feeling better than they thought they would, which I guess is good? ? We'll see.
So weird.
So annoying.
So weird.
I know, it's so weird. All right, well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, why your water bill might get even higher.
Spring home buying season is back in Portland. That home you're in love with, the Portland bungalow with room for garden beds in the backyard and easy access to the Max line, it's fetching multiple offers. If you are in the market anywhere in the Portland metro area and feel like your offers aren't getting accepted, talk to James Adair at Neo Home Loans powered by Better. James has spent more than 20 years helping Portland families get their offers accepted. And he's put together a list of 12 specific ways to improve your offer. He calls it the unfair buyer advantage. You don't need more offers. You need one that wins. Download his free playbook at unfairbuyeradvantage.com. That's unfairbuyeradvantage.com. James Adair, NMLS 272766 with Better Mortgage Corporation. NMLS 330511, an equal housing lender.
Hi, CityCast listeners. This is David Plotz. I'm the CEO of CityCast, but I also have another job. I'm one of the hosts of the Political Gabfest, Slate's politics podcast. Every week, I get on mic with my co-hosts Emily Bazelon and John Dickerson, and we talk about politics and a lot more about other things that we care about. The Gabfest has been going for more than 20 years because the three of us love talking to each other, and we have an amazing community of listeners. If you like the open-hearted, curious way CityCast approaches cities, I think you'll like the Political Gabfest too. Stream it on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast.
All right, guys. So to catch you up, if you weren't aware, for nearly a decade, Portland has been trying to upgrade its water filtration system for the Bull Run watershed. Currently, it has a very antiquated, unfiltered open reservoir, and to comply with both federal and state guidelines, we need a better filtration system for treating cryptosporidium, aka animal poop contamination. But this Bull Run water treatment project has been controversial from the start because of its cost, the supposed environmental impact it would have, and all the complaints by nearby homeowners who didn't want to live near a water treatment facility or the construction of one. So back in December, we spoke to then Portland Water Bureau interim director, Quisha Light, about the project, and she had this to say about it.
I get all the reasons why people are trying to protect the environment, but we also need to protect our water source because we've been fortunate to have such a precious heritage in the Bull Run for years. And to not have that water resource is significant for us because our groundwater isn't sufficient. We don't have enough groundwater to meet the needs of our community. We need the Bull Run.
So the project, which has been riddled with delays, and according to this Oregonian article by Shane Dixon, fiscal mismanagement have ballooned costs to $2.6 billion. So this article that Shane wrote, it's a lot, you guys. We'll link it to our show notes. He went deep, and he found out that during our previous city administration, back when we had Mingus Mapps as the Water Bureau commissioner, then Mayor Ted Wheeler insisted that the Water Bureau hire an external watchdog to, and this is his quote here, oversee rigorous independent analysis and oversight of this project at every step going forward. And guess what didn't happen? Mapps never got around to it, and no one after him did either. Officials declined to identify who at the city dropped the ball on the oversight body, meaning there is none. They suggested that the plan unraveled amid Portland's transition to a new form of government and, of course, all the turnover at the Water Bureau starting in July 2024. However, the Water Bureau's former chief engineer told the Oregonian that she continued pushing to finalize the plan for several more months during the transition. Jody Inman said that Mapps and Priya Dhanapal, who became the city's top public works official that July, ignored her repeated requests. So the Water Bureau has had a lot of leadership turnover recently. For example, Dr. Ting Liu, I believe, has taken over the Water Bureau as the first director of public utilities, unifying leadership of the city's Water and Environmental Services Bureau for the first time. That started January 2nd. And what's really crazy is when you go to the Water Bureau website, there's no mention of this. I was trying to figure out, like, is Quisha still the interim director? If I don't know what's going on, I'm just... It just seems like there's a lot of like, wait, who's on first? And so I can imagine then managing this multi-now billion-dollar project. Like, someone needs to step in and make sure this gets done right.
This whole thing is so frustrating. And I feel this way specifically because that interview with Quisha a few months ago, the interim director, made me realize that the issue with projects like this not being finalized and the date getting pushed back is that things only get significantly more expensive the more you wait.
Yeah.
Labor gets more expensive. The actual resources to do the thing gets more expensive. And ultimately, as much as this is feeling like it's spiraling out of control, this is something that we do need at the end of the day. We need a reliable water source. And in order to make that happen, things have to get approved. So altogether, it's just like, what is going on here? I don't understand how this happened.
I mean, I do. Because I read the article and it was very clear how fumbled that ball became. But I will say, though, the new leader, whoever that is, did concede that our rates are going up because, you know, we're not just paying for water. Our bill is like sewer and water treatment. It's all in one. So our bill is just going to get higher. And I'm concerned because we already had one of the highest utility bill increases, you know, in the entire nation the past couple years. So the thought of it going even higher is daunting.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think it's good. I think they should all be higher.
That our bills are higher?
Yeah. It's good. No one's really thinking about it from this perspective. Guys, what if it was good?
I wonder why no one's thinking about it from that perspective.
I know. Here's the deal: is I thought she had an actual point, and I was like ready. I was like, "Oh my God, Althea, please tell me." And then you're like, "No one's ever thought of this. What if it's good?" And at that moment, I knew that's all you had.
Water is precious, man. We got to think about it some more.
Well, I guess here's my real thought. How is it that it's nobody's job to worry about this? That feels troubling to me. Also,
that's what I mean.
How are we making a compelling case for another oversight board? The idea that, oh no, actually we do need one in this case. We need another board of volunteer people to keep an eye on this process because the city can't keep its pants on, you know?
What?
That's a really funny way of putting it.
I don't know why I said that.
Is that a common phrase?
Nope, made it up.
I don't understand.
You guys can have that.
That's not a common phrase, Althea.
Keep your pants
Get a belt.
on, city.
Tighten the belt. That's what it is.
Oh,
there we go.
That's what you were trying to do. Because the belt. I see the Okay,
Yeah.
I see how you follow
Can't
through.
keep its
All right.
pants up, maybe
Sure.
that's... Anyway.
Anyhow. I'm looking forward to see how this shakes out because, this article was just put out, which means that the way a lot of people don't understand the city government works is that many of the people in city government learn about city government through reporting. And so
Hate that.
I'm sure this is going to be like
Oh, boy.
news to a lot of people of our elected leaders who are just like, wait, what now? So let's see what comes of this. We're definitely going to follow this story. I know as a homeowner who has to pay the water of one single person, I can only imagine how expensive it is for a family right now. And it's just so painful. I just hope something gets settled soon. But let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, Damian Lillard's new bar. All right, Giulia, what do you got now that you're dating Damian Lillard?
Who told you?
Because you met at a bar. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I heard.
It sounds like I'm going to quit my job soon if that's the case. I mean, come on. Okay.
Wait, is that what you think happens when you date someone is that they support you?
Rich
You're
and
just
famous?
dating,
Come
Giulia,
on.
calm down.
Okay.
Or you're trying to get a job at the bar.
All right. So what are we even talking about right now? So I love Portland's hotel bar scene. And there's just something about it that like transports you to another world. But why am I even talking about this? Claudia mentioned it was recently the opening of Portland Trailblazers Damian Lillard's new hotel bar. It's at the Benson Hotel on Southwest Broadway. It's called Honorable Mention. But aside from this new spot, I have a few other favorite hotel bar picks I want to share with everyone to go and check out right now. But starting with Honorable Mention, like I said, it's at the Benson. I haven't been yet because it just opened up, but there was a review put out by Ron Scott at Willamette Week that made it very clear what's going on there so far. So it's really swanky. It's an upscale sports bar. It's in a basement level, no windows. Apparently there's like a marble staircase of some sort in the hotel, like brass railings. It's just like really luxurious. It's like one of the rare places in Portland that folks are actually showing up dressed fancy, which is kind of hilarious to think about.
But that's the Benson, FYI. Like the
I
Benson,
know.
that already was in there, is what I'm saying.
I think it's very, very fun to imagine a night out at this spot. But the cool thing about it is that when it comes to their menu, they're doing a nice mix of casual and fancy. The executive chef there said it's Michelin star meets sports bar. And it really is. It sounds like it's exactly that. They have steak tartare and buffalo wings. But the thing is, apparently their pizza is amazing. So if you go, you're going to want to order the pepperoni pizza. But the one detail that really stood out to me in the Willamette Week review is that their drinks really aren't that good, apparently. And for an upscale sports bar, I'm like, what? And one of their excuses was that they hadn't had, so they ordered these like custom shakers that hadn't come in yet. And that was their excuse for why the drinks weren't like up to par. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart, that cannot be it. That cannot be the barrier. But anyway, maybe give it a couple weeks and go check it out. Altogether, though, sounds like a really, really fun place. But I do want to get into my other picks. These are spots that I have been to myself that I love so much. First one is Abigail Hall at the Woodlark Hotel.
Yeah. It's got to be Abigail Hall.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite spots, too. It's so freaking special.
I love it. That's such a great word for it. So this is on Southwest Alder. This is a great spot for spontaneous Monday nights out because they have an all-day happy hour on Mondays. If you're going for their happy hour, they have an $11 cheeseburger that just like really hits the spot. They have these extra crispy skinny fries that you can order a side of fancy sauce with. It's like their fry sauce. So tasty. But you'll want to walk past the hotel's front desk to get to the bar. It's like discreetly tucked away in the back of the lobby, which makes it extra cozy. Everything is like this kind of like warm floral design. There's like these really like, I don't know, really hip couches and seating areas that just really make it feel posh in this fun way. But that would be one of my favorites. And then I also have another new spot on my list. I went to this one recently. It's called 2NW5. It's at the Hoxton, and it's on Northwest 4th. And if you like raw fish, this place is an absolute dream. It's run by executive chef Adon Fausto of the celebrated pop-up Mariscos con Onda.
Oh, I wonder where he ended up.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
Claudia,
so
I know
cool.
you love this. So it's coastal Mexican seafood dishes paired with amazing cocktails. But you have to access the bar from a side door off of Northwest 5th Avenue. And you go down these like really unassuming flight of stairs, super intimate basement level space. The folks that run it are so attentive and so sweet. I went and I stayed for longer than I should have, had 2 more drinks more than I should have. And it was so much fun. And it's so easy to get to, too. You can just get off right off the bus right there. So if you want to take public transit, it's the perfect spot for that kind of an outing. Have y'all heard about this spot, though? It's somewhat new.
At the Hoxton?
Yeah.
No. And what was it called? NW5?
2NW5. Not an easy thing to remember.
So a 2 Northwest 5?
Yes.
2 Northwest 5. It's, you know what? It sounds like a early aughts like girl band.
Yeah, really.
Do you know, like 2NW5, you know, their hit song, Baby Please, you know.
I love
Baby,
that
please.
one of my favorite throwback
Baby
hits.
Please.
I haven't been, but I'm liking and taking note of the fact that these hotel bars are maybe not where you'd expect, and I should start walking into places where maybe it seems like I'm not supposed to go there, and perhaps I'll find a beautiful bar.
You're like in someone's apartment. I'm sorry, I'm looking for a beautiful bar.
Is this not 2NW5? I'm sorry, I took a wrong turn somewhere. Do you guys have shakers or no?
How are your shakers? Are they good?
Because honorable mention does not have shake.
All right. Back to reality. Julia, what's
Back
the
to
other
the
bar?
list. My next favorite is, of course, the Driftwood Room at Hotel Deluxe on Southwest 15th. This is tucked away to the left of the hotel lobby when you walk in through the front doors. They've been doing cocktail classics since 1954, and this place is already so luxurious. But if you want to just take it up a notch, I would suggest ordering their absinthe because they serve it in this fancy French fountain, all glass, and they bring the whole thing to your table so you can watch like the alluring absinthe drip, and it tastes
Waterfall.
amazing. I am obsessed with this one too. But the thing that's special about this place is that it's so small, it's so dimly lit. The folks that work there are really like bow tie, tight in the neck, know everything about cocktails and are so excited to serve you. It feels like you should have like a fancy pair of gloves on and be smoking like one of those long cigarettes. It's such a dream. It's been in Portland forever. You have to go if you haven't been. But the last spot I want to mention is actually a shout out from newsletter reader Anna, and she was suggesting Pacific Standard at the Kex Hotel on Northeast MLK. This is also another personal favorite of mine. Claudia, I know you and I have been there together actually, and we got oysters and it was awesome. The space is massive, really tall ceilings, big windows, awesome lighting, solid appetizers.
Is that the one with the cute little outdoor space?
They have actually a rooftop space. This is the same building that the Sunset Room is at, also owned by the Kex Hotel, which is, hot tip, only open during the warm season, but it is this amazing place to go and watch the sunset over Portland in the summertime. It's a bucket list spot of mine, but you could go to either spot in the summertime, downstairs for Pacific Standard to grab drinks, or upstairs on top of the building. This is right on Northeast MLK. But that's a really, really killer suggestion from our newsletter reader. But I do want to hear from folks about their favorite spots. You can email us at portland@citycast.fm. Tell us why you love it. We can shout it out on the show. But yeah.
Are you talking about all bars or just hotel bars?
I think hotel bars. I want to know some other sleeper hits that I haven't been to yet. I know there's more out there.
You know what's crazy, Julia, is that most people find hotel bars so soulless. Like whenever they're visiting other places, they're just like, you know, it was a hotel bar. So it was like, it's almost a liminal space, you know, like where everyone's like, are we existing together? Or is this a dream?
Who's from here?
Yeah. But what's crazy about Portland, like you just made me realize every bar you mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, it is a hotel bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Like the best bars in downtown Portland, I would say, you know, are hotel bars because there are hotels there. And
Totally.
that's where the bars
That's where people are. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that. I was like, no, actually, you're right. Like every bar you mentioned, I was like, yeah, Slam dunk.
It's honestly really special, and it really does have a lot of soul. Like, it feels like there's a really special energy to it that's worth going and checking out. But yeah, those are my favorites.
Awesome. Well, I wish you and Damian the best.
Thank you.
You can't see Althea, but she is giving you the
Finger heart. I can do both.
Yeah, the finger heart thing.
Well, this is this is not a visual medium.
I was like, Althea, do more.
Yeah, keep going.
Do more. Yeah, keep going. More
Just
visual
totally
mediums
silent.
than an audio medium. That's what we need right now, Althea.
This is why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Well, thank you, too, for hanging out with me. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend, rate, or leave us an amazing review. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm. We're going to be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's or Damian Lillard's new bar.
See you there.
Hanging with Dave. What's up?
Come with your own shaker.